I actually started at Geneva College to study to be an engineer, electrical engineer, and halfway through my college career, my dad passed away, and so I had to get an education so that I could actually go out and get a job, and so I switched over to mathematics and took education classes to prepare myself to be a high school teacher. I have a degree in mathematics, but I minored in engineering because I took a number of engineering courses, and I also minored in history because that was one of my interests and still is to this day. I read books on history. After I got out of college, I went to work for Rochester School District, which is downriver from the city of Pittsburgh, and taught there for 2 years. I taught plane geometry, general math, and mechanical drawing. Learned quite a bit in terms of being able to present material to the students and put up with their antics and things like that. Got a job at U.S. Steel, started out as a general programmer, learning how the steel company worked, the kind of things that work that you had to do. I had gone to a computer school in Pittsburgh, learned how to write in assembly language, which was what everybody was using. And then I picked up a few other computer languages as time wore on. I wrote Fortran, which is used for scientific programming, and just generally learned to thrive in a business environment where you work as a member of a team, because I wrote programs for people, and later on I had the opportunity of running some of my own projects as well. At some point in time, I saw I wasn't getting anywhere in terms of thriving in terms of my professionalism, and so I went to work for a computer manufacturer who manufactured computers that were used in scientific programming, like nuclear power plants and things that Westinghouse did in terms of scientific processing. Finally got a job working for Cray Research, which was kind of a guy that had worked for Control Data and set up his own business, and eventually I wound up hiring a bunch of people that used to work at Control Data, and essentially I was doing the same thing at Cray Research as I was doing at Control Data. I was working with the Air Force as a contractor, and so I got to visit all of the air material areas that the Air Force had, and they had computers there from Control Data. When I get done with Cray Research, I had helped install the software at Westinghouse in Pittsburgh, and so they hired me on to be the operating systems guru. Let's see, I was at Westinghouse until 1996. I kind of knocked around for about a year or so, and then picked up a job teaching part-time at this community college, IT courses, and a year later I picked up another part-time job at the University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg, and just retired from there this past December 2021, and taught mathematics, several courses, calculus and pre-calculus, both scientific and business, and taught engineering, which was nothing more than a bunch of computer applications that the students needed whenever they moved on to, let's say, their sophomore, junior, senior year as an engineer. And the kind of courses I taught at the community college were operating systems like Linux, beginning logic programs, and things like that. In terms of what I've done when I wasn't doing that, I was involved with the Boy Scouts from 1980 till about 2015 or so. Committee chairman, chartered organization rep, scoutmaster for two tours, one for 3 years and the other for 2.5. Merit badge counselor with computers, airplanes, computers, obviously, things like that. When I joined my church, they were running car raffles, and I did a lot of the data entry, keep track of who was selling things and things like that. Involved with being a lector in the Catholic Church. Just joined the choir after I was getting out of teaching, so that'll give me something active to do. I kind of liked working with people on an individual basis and kind of helping them move along from whatever and give them knowledge that they needed to get their job done. And that's, I got a great deal of satisfaction. In fact, that when I was in the Boy Scouts, I did that too. I did a lot of merit badge work with kids, and so the fact that you could take somebody who didn't know diddly about anything, and within a short period of time teach them a topic where they could be useful, okay, that gives people a sense of accomplishment, that they can do things that they couldn't do before. I think a crowning achievement, the fact I was able to amass a bunch of knowledge and wasn't afraid of sharing it with people. Over the years, I've met a lot of people who were afraid that you were going to steal their job from them, so they weren't going to give you any knowledge in order to help you get ahead. And I never worried about that. I said, I don't acquire knowledge just to hold on to it, because I can tell you for over the 40 years I was active in the computer field, the technology changed so much that you almost had to stay busy accumulating knowledge, because things changed and the stuff that you were an expert at 5 years ago didn't matter anymore. You had to keep learning. Well, I have 3 sons. I was involved with them. The older 2, I was involved as a soccer coach with them. And the younger 2, I was involved with scouting. The middle son got an Eagle Scout, and the other one got as far as a Life Scout. I had 2 women that I consider very important to me, one of which was my mother, and the other is my wife. My mother kind of inspired me from the standpoint of wanting to do a good job and be of use to people. My wife was a great support to me in just about everything that I did. And when you have a partner for 57 years and they're not there anymore, it's just it's kind of a shame. But the last year was not pleasant for her or me either. But I got through it, and I learned a lot about myself and the fact that I was able to be her caregiver for most of that time, until she finally just passed away last September. It was 2020. So she's in no more pain. One of the questions that asked me what single word would describe me, and the word is service. The fact that if provide assistance to people, lend a willing ear, and don't be afraid to help people. Don't keep knowledge to yourself. Encourage people to do better. I think that's all very important. I've met a lot of young people, especially the ones fresh out of high school, who think they know it all and don't. And somebody says, well, how can you tell they're getting they're maturing, I says, they start asking questions. There's no possible way you can know everything. I said, knowing where to look is the best way to acquire knowledge and also being able to help people.
How would you like to be remembered?
As a person who, for the most part, was a happy person, tried to make people happy, and was there for when people needed somebody to talk to.